Hey, everybody. Mike O'Keefe here. Welcome to Multiple Idiots, episode 16, with my buddy Conor Delehanty. What a fun time catching up with Conor. We came to Chicago around the same time in 2012, and we talk a lot about our meeting, our times as young little whippersnapper open micers, and now that we're a little bit older whippersnapper, a little above open micers. It was good to sit back and reminisce about all the fun times I've had with Conor. And we get a little deep too. And I appreciate Conor doing that with me. And I appreciate you for listening in. Please, if you're enjoying the show, I urge you, I beg you, I plead with you to rate and review and subscribe on iTunes. Throw us a review, throw us 5 stars. I'd really appreciate it. This weekend, I am at the Comedy Bar in downtown Chicago with Kevin Bozeman. So come check it out. If you're subscribed to the show and you come to one of those shows, show it to me on your phone and I'll give you a koozie. I got these koozies that I used to sell. I don't really sell them that much anymore. They say total shithead on them. So I'll give you a cool little koozie if you want. That'll be fun. That'll be a nice time. Follow Conor Delehanty on all of his social medias at Conor Delehanty, Delehanty. Spelling is tough, and follow me at the Mike O'Keefe. Also, I would be remiss if I didn't mention this week. Chicago comedy lost a good friend, a great comedian, actually a great friend, and a father and a fantastic husband in Dave Metz. Dave was fantastic, and I attended his funeral today to see the outpouring of love from his family and the fellow Chicago comics that were there. I would be remiss if I didn't bring it up and just say that this episode is dedicated to Dave, and Dave has a scholarship fund on GoFundMe as he was a fantastic teacher, and I got to meet a decent amount of his colleagues and some of his students over this past weekend who were also at the services, and they all spoke so highly of how great of a teacher and a colleague Dave was. So I would like for you, in addition to anything else you have going on, please go to GoFundMe, put in David Gustella Scholarship, Guastella, and kick a few bucks. Let's help some kids go to school in Dave's memory, because he loved learning and he wanted everyone to learn. And the pastor, or one of the speakers at the funeral today, said that if you were in a discussion with Dave, you were in a debate with Dave, he wasn't trying to win, he was trying to learn. So let's help some more people try and learn. Take a couple bucks over, and again, this one's for Dave, which makes me laugh because he would have probably called me lame for doing that. But with that out of the way, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys listening. Let's have a good one. And now here we go. Conor Delehanty, my old pal. How's it going, chum? Sorry.
Wow.
Already ruined it.
First time being called chum. I'm so happy to be here, be on episode 16. It's going to be great.
We're going to 16 it up. That's how many wins you need.
This is the Sweet 16.
The Sweet 16. That's how many wins you need to win the Stanley Cup in the playoffs.
Remember how funny that show was? My Super Sweet 16?
Oh, I loved it.
God, that would not fly now.
That would not be allowed.
These fucking privileged, stupid...
These bitches, let me tell you how problematic these ladies are with their big dresses.
That was the point of the show. It showed these rich people were still not happy.
Let me ask you a question.
Yep.
Do you think decadence will ever come back in style?
Yeah, I think it still very much is in style.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But you see...
Did you see Jeff Bezos got divorced?
Did he really?
He's getting divorced right now.
That's a bummer.
It's like a $130 billion divorce.
Suck my ass. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Isn't that so funny?
That's hilarious. You can't make it. You can't go to couples therapy. You can't. Put the seat down. It's $130 billion. That's insanity. You can't burp Tupperware for an evening.
It's like I bought us this island for couples therapy.
You can buy her own island. Just send her there. Be like, listen, Prime for free for a year.
He has to be the most insufferable person.
He's got to be He's got to be a colossal
Have
prick.
you heard about his clock that he's building?
No, what's his clock?
A friend told me about this, so I'm not sure on the specifics of it, but I think it's he's spent tens of millions of dollars on this clock that he's building inside of a mountain that will last for 10,000 years.
So wait.
This clock is merely a symbol for longevity. That's the whole point of it. It's just a symbol. And I think it's got all these different specific hands and stuff. It's not just like a standard
it's
hour
not like
and
a
minute
regular.
clock.
What if it was just a digital clock?
It's just a Casio.
Yeah.
And
it's the big old Apple Watch.
Every millennia, a cuckoo comes out, like a cuckoo clock. Millions of dollars.
I got to be honest with you. This is the perfect reason to divorce somebody. But that's why I would leave.
Like you hear shit like that, and it's like once you get past a certain amount of money,
you're just throwing it
then
anywhere.
The only thing that can probably get you up in the morning is the idea of immortality. You know, so you just build fucking crazy shit.
Crazy.
Like that.
That's never gonna. What would you do if you had that kind of money?
If I had that kind of money,
if you had a quarter of that kind of money, what would you do? I think I would just give people, I would just see someone on the street, not even necessarily like a homeless person, but just someone who looks tired. And I wouldn't say that to a woman. It would be a gentleman who looks tired. And I would just hand them $1 million bill. And I would do that twice a month.
Yeah, I would give out a lot of loose cash to random people. Or if I saw someone just doing something that I thought was funny in public.
Yeah.
But then I would probably use a lot of it to fuck with my friends.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
You know, I would pay someone $10,000 to steal Tim's car.
Great.
I
would take that money.
But I don't know. It'd be hard because Tim has so little now that he doesn't have a car anymore. Tim McLaughlin.
We're, of course, talking about former San Antonio Spur Tim Duncan.
He has nothing. The big fundamental.
The big fundamental. No, Tim, I think I would do a lot of that. Or I would all of a sudden you just hire a dude who looks exactly like Tim to just hang out with you. And you're like, I don't know what does Tim think about this? You know, that's what I'd do.
But I think I would do a lot. I would just try to donate to charities that I think would be surprised. Yeah. If I could catch them off guard.
It's like, oh my God, Conor Delehanty just gave $100 million to Planned Parenthood. Good for him. Yeah. What a delightful man. That guy loves women's health.
And his statement was, keep fucking kids.
Keep them wed. All right. Now, Conor, we have known each other since 2012 when I moved to Chicago the first time. And we met at a Sully's open mic with our friend, the now deceased Andy Boyle. We met him there as well.
And he is not dead.
He is not dead.
He's just comedy dead.
He's dead to me.
Bobby Buds texted me today and said he said, I just saw Andy Boyle eating alone in an Asian restaurant. It's that's amazing. It's a funny text, and it's also funny that Bobby just said an Asian restaurant.
Not Thai, not sushi,
not Vietnamese.
Just an Asian restaurant. I'll be honest with you. I think the worst thing to eat by yourself, though, would be a big bowl of pho. I think that's got to be weird.
I've done it before.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you get any looks?
I don't know. I eat alone so much that I don't care at all.
The greatest thing that I learned as a standing up comedian on the road in my early 20s was how to go to the movies alone, how to eat alone, and how to jerk it while driving. Those are the top three. And I'm very proud of all three of them.
I've only jerked it while driving once.
What happened? Why? Why only once?
I think
I got Nebraska in a couple weeks. Would you like to open for me?
Yeah, sure. I'll hold the wheel.
I appreciate it. What happened?
I was driving from Indianapolis back to New York, and
that's a long drive.
I think most of it.
Crank-worthy drive.
I think most of it was I just wanted to do it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, it is. It's a weird status thing for a decent amount of fellas.
I mean, it was just I was just kind of was like, is it possible? Is it dangerous? But then I was like, this is pretty straight road. I only really need one hand to do the big work. And
is that what you call your steering wheel, the big work?
No, that's what I call masturbating.
Oh.
because that's the most important form of self-care. That's what I'm trying to promote.
Thank you very much.
Jerking is self-care.
This has been Conor Delehanty from Mike O'Keefe. Back then, it's not a point in my life we've talked about a lot on the show.
You were one of my first friends here. I think Andy was my first friend. You know, that's not a good trophy to have.
It's really not. It's really not. He was one of my first friends here too. And boy, oh boy. Oof.
But yeah, I was very like terribly shy at that time. And even like, I'm a pretty quiet person, but I was like tenfold back then. But I don't know, you and I just hit it off immediately. I think it's because you talk all the time.
Yeah, you are very quiet and I do not shut up.
So it fit.
It really did. Like a glove. But that was also during a time in like 2012 to 2000, early part of 2014. I feel like I was insufferable back then. I feel like I was terrible.
No, I loved you.
Okay. Well, that's our show. But I really, like, looking back, I was so cocky for no reason. And I would be all cocky, and then I would go on stage and I would just eat a huge bucket of dicks. And then I would come off and be like, yeah, they just didn't get it. I was like, no, it's just not good yet.
Well,
I really wasn't taking my lumps very well back then.
Well, I think we were all dealing with that similar thing. Like you,
Big Fish,
Arcuri, Sheen, myself.
Yeah.
I felt like we all connected because we had started in clubs and we each had like, 10 to 15 minutes that would like do really well in clubs.
Yeah.
And then you take it to these open mics that are all just comics and they're just like the worst circumstances.
Oh, terrible. Yeah.
And people just don't want to listen because they don't know who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
And it's just very disheartening for a long while.
And not only that, you have to wait. Sometimes you're waiting 2 hours, 3 hours to go do 3 minutes in front of people who are just there to do 3 minutes after you. Yeah. And it's really, and coming from like I was one of the go-to guys to open up theater shows in Michigan before I left. I was I got to open for Bo Burnham and Norm Macdonald. And then I moved here and it's just like, all right, the bottom. I don't like this, And I was in when I moved here, I was in a really terrible relationship with a woman who took your first headshots, which
I was going to bring that up.
Oh, that's totally, we can talk about your headshots.
Yeah, the first time I needed headshots because Bert Haas was like, I wanted to do the showcase at
Vulture Magazine's Bert Haas.
I wish I could listen to that phone call.
Oh, me too.
What is Vulture? Has Sinbad been on there? But
we like Zanies. We like Bert on this show. That the views of Conor Delehanty do not reflect the views of me or Jim
Bert doesn't know he's old or keeped bringing up Sinbad in his intro. He knows what he does.
He does love Sinbad.
But yeah, you have to bring a headshot the first time you do that showcase. I didn't have anything even close, and I just knew that
your
girlfriend was a photographer.
Yeah.
So we just went in the alleyway behind her apartment. It was so cold. It was like this time of year.
It was so cold. And literally the next day I remember I had a snow day from my temp job because it snowed so much. And the day before we were out in the alley, just be like, hey, look cool, I guess.
And it was just like
and not your parka.
Meech crouched down in just like a gray sweater and my glasses were on.
Yeah, your glasses fogged all up. I remember that. And then you took that. You went back to your place, and then me and my then girlfriend went into our studio apartment we shared and probably fought for the rest of the day. That's probably how that happened. Ooh, here's a thing I used to do.
A studio with a girlfriend?
Yeah, especially when you're 22. Don't know about you. I'm feeling 22.
Well, because when you first moved here, you guys weren't together. You guys had been dating before, right?
Dated in college for a year.
What was her name? Haley or something?
Hillary.
It was an H.
I'll plug her. She's a great photographer, honestly, and we're friends now. We're co-godparents of a child. Did you know that?
That is so fucking stupid.
It's really dumb. It's really dumb. But shouts to little Frankie and Hillary Higgins. Look her up. Follow her on Instagram.
Double H.
One more, and she's a superstar. But here's the thing I used to do. I was temping at that time because I didn't think I needed a real job because I was like, I'll make it. I'm making it as a comedian. I'll be working everywhere in no time.
But you were still working the road a lot.
I was. And I was, I wasn't I wasn't here all the time. I would come for like 3 weeks, do temp jobs, work a couple things, go on the road, stay at my parents. Yeah, I was everywhere. For a couple years, people didn't know if I lived here or not, which I did. I was just not around.
Can I just bring up one of my favorite things?
Please go.
I think it was the last time I was here. We were at Cole's, and Billy Bullock was hosting, and he goes, your next comic is a real road dog, Mike O'Keefe.
And I was just like, I have been in town for the last 3 months, buddy.
And it's like, that's never a term of endearment.
Oh, never. Never.
Especially not anyone saying road dog in Coles.
Oh, that is too.
It's a comedy slur.
The very frequently mentioned Coles open mic. That is very much a slur. That is oof. They might as well call you a jerk or something.
Shout out to Cole. You run a great business.
Shout out to Cole. You're in a great business, and those flannel shirts are affordable. So when I was temping back then, I would usually have to wear a suit temp gig, and I had a suit. And so sometimes when I would get tired of fighting, because she was a freelance photographer, she didn't have like an office to go to. So some days there would be days where I didn't have a temp gig and she didn't have a shoot. So we would just be miserable together all day. And so sometimes on those days I would wake up, I would put my suit on, sans temp gig, and then I would just go to the movies all day in a suit.
You would tell her you had to work?
Yeah, and I would just go to the movies all day. And just also the looks you get when you go to the movies alone in a suit, priceless.
It's like, is that guy late to get his kids back?
Yeah. Is that guy? Did that guy wait around here for a movie in 1948 and just never leave? Like,
no, he's not going to a movie. He's going to a picture.
Yeah. He knows this doesn't cost a nickel, right? He's going to have to pay a little bit more. But yeah, that was, yeah. And I fell asleep in Lincoln 3 times. I would go because I'd wake up at 7. Yeah. I'd just kind of ride the train for a little bit. And then I would go to a movie. And I fell asleep in Lincoln 3 times because that Daniel Day-Lewis, he has a very soothing Lincoln voice.
I almost fell asleep in Phantom Thread.
Oh my God, we talk a little bit about ASMR on this show. That movie's got a lot of ASMR in it.
It was a good movie.
Sewing noise, I loved it, but all those sewing noises are oof, oof.
Wait, you would just put on the whole suit?
A whole suit, no tie.
How many?
Put a tie on.
What is that, like once a week, or was that just a handful of times?
I think I did it about. Let's say I was there from October to February, so 4 months. I probably did it about 12 times, 10, 12 times. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy.
What happened after that? Did you move?
So after that,
back, or did you move?
So after that, we had kind of like our big falling out fight around the spring of that year. I moved home for 2 weeks, and then I moved in with Tyler Jackson and Lucas Flip.
Oh, that place in Logan.
Yeah. The Sad Castle. We all know about it.
I remember one
Sad
time.
Castle.
One time I was over there, and it was I don't know if Tyler was there or not, but you and I, we were about to like head to Cole's or something. Yeah, we were like, we're gonna go to a mic. Do you want to come, Luke? And Luke goes, no, I got to stay in because I'm making this Scotch egg.
I'm making a hard-boiled egg rolled in sausage. I'm not going to go work on my craft. This is my craft. What if it turns out Lucas Flip is Kevin Hart's real name and he's like more successful than all of us? That Lucas Flip ended up being Terry Fator, the most famous magician. Oh, is he a magician? Do you know who that guy is?
He's a ventriloquist. He does a Vegas act.
Okay, cool.
That's why he has like a ton of money.
That's the only reason I know about him is because every year when they have that end of the year, the richest comedians, he's always like 7th. Oh my gosh, step it up, Chappelle. You can't go on the road 3 more times, jackass?
I only know him because one time I stayed in Vegas and the window of
I thought you were going to say I stayed at his house. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, my buddy Tear. And
Bear.
But no, like the view outside my window was just right next to the hotel that he worked at. So it was just his face just all along
my
the side
God.
of this casino.
Was it him and then all the puppets were around?
Oh,
him?
yeah. Of course.
You got to have him. Now, have you seen any of his act?
Absolutely not.
Okay. I hope he's not as racist as Jeff Dunham. But also, I don't know how you can do ventriloquism and not be a little racist sometimes.
I mean,
it seems like that's why it was invented, right?
Well, the puppets have to be based on stereotypes. It's not
right?
like, what else are they got to...
That puppet doesn't have any life experience.
It's not like,
It's just a puppet.
This one's funny because it went to Princeton.
God, I would love to see your Ivy League ventriloquism routine. That'd be good.
Yeah, I'll do it.
You got a Princeton guy, you got a Yale, you got a Harvard. God, I'd love to see
Cornell's a dirtbag.
Oh, Cornell's a Dartmouth. He's there. I don't know any more schools. So we would so we kind of like grinded it out together when we first lived here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Three a night.
Just
hanging out.
Waiting hours at Lottie's.
Drinking so much.
Remember, because Sully's, the way they did that open mic was everybody would show up and it would be, you would drop your name in the bucket, but then they would pull all the names and write out the list of like 40, 45 comics.
Like at least 40.
So you show up and then you're like, you could be first or you could be 45th.
58th. Yeah.
So, but then it was like this weird thing where like, depending on where you got pulled, determined what else you could do that night.
Yeah, of course.
So it's just like 30 horrible comedians, myself included, just calculated like, oh, I can go up here, then I can get up at Blarney Stone and bomb there too, and then I could go bomb over there.
I go eat shit at PH. I can eat shit over here.
Yeah.
One of my favorite memories from that time was me and you would have calf raise contests at the PH Theater. Do you remember that?
Yeah, right before it would start. We would just stand up on the stage and just do calf raises. And everybody would be like, what are you doing?
What are these fucking idiots doing?
Because
that was the kind of fun we had back then. Calf raises.
Well, especially at PH, it was a very like
that was like the one where it was
theater, alty vibe, and then us two fucking
jocks.
Just big dumb, big dumb jocks.
Yeah.
We're just like, oh yeah, fucking calf raises,
feeling the burn. Oh yeah, feeling the burn. Also, dating is weird. All right.
Yeah, very much around that time, I felt a lot of looks at me where people just being like, hey, stop doing sports at me. It's like, no, I'm just here.
I'm just here, man. What you got to do, gain a little weight. That's how you get that stuff.
I've gained weight before. I was a big old fatty.
We'll get into that in a little bit. But around that time, the thing we were talking about a little bit earlier, you found out on the subject of jockey nonsense, you found out my college nickname that was only in my fake fraternity.
Oh, we were outside of the Old Town Ale House. I think we had probably all just...
I think it's a Chicago landmark.
Great bar.
It's a great bar. It's between Second City and Old Town Zanies. Again, shout out to Bert. You're great. Love you. And
I hope you got my bales.
Yeah, that I sent 8 months ago. And so we're there. We're after some dumb show, and we're drinking. We're all trying to piece. It's a cash only bar, so we're all trying to piece together our money.
It might have been after, like that 11 p.m. Saturday
that's
mic.
Exactly what it was. Yeah,
it was an 11 p.m. open mic Saturdays at Second City, but it was good sometimes because it would be all the people from the stand-up class.
Yeah, who would just love everything. Yeah,
and also they like had friends who wanted to see them do, and they thought it was real stand-up.
Yeah, it was in a classroom.
It was a class.
It was in a classroom. Also during that time, the stand-up club that was in Second City was open, so you would literally have to go up an escalator, walk past a sold-out room to see Kyle Kinane into a little classroom to go eat a bucket of shit.
You would see people like who were at the show, like you would see other comics who were either on that show or like hanging out, and they'd be like, "Oh, were you on the Late Show?" And you'd be like, "No, I'm going up to do the open mic."
Because like I worked with like Mike Leibovitz and Marty Rose before I moved here. So they'd be like, "Hey, you want to do a guest spot?" And I was like, "I don't know anyone." He's like, "Okay."
Yeah, but so we were.
I gotta go to the open mic. Ooh.
So it was a bunch of people of that ilk, and we're all at Old Town Ale House, and our friend and the late Michael Shapiro, love you, Shaps,
love you,
R.I.P.
Shappy.
But
Miss Betty.
we were like, oh, we're going over to the Old Town Ale House, and he was like,
man, I can't
he's
go.
like, I can't. I don't have any money, and I don't want to hang out if I can't drink. And we were like, and we were probably all like, hey, I'll buy you a beer. Doesn't matter. And he's just like, nah, I don't want to do that. And then, and so then we go into this bar, and we're all getting drinks, and then he comes back into the bar like he had just won an election,
literally arms up like he's holding the Stanley fucking cup,
and he goes, guys, it turns out I've got $40.
Let's turn it up. Yeah. It's like, all right, Chappie.
But after, so we only have a couple drinks, nothing too wild. And then we walk out to North Ave, and we pass this group of kind of like bro-y, yuppie
attractive
looking.
young yuppies. Yeah.
And then we cross paths, but then one of them yells out, Mad Mike? And then we all stop, and Mike turns around, and the guy goes, Mad Mike!
And just runs into my arms. And I'm like, hey, what's up? How's it going, Houston? What's up, buddy? And then he's like, you still doing comedy? I was like, yeah. I was at Second City a little bit ago. He's like, what are you doing over there? I was like, that open mic.
Was in the building.
I was in the building. And then I walk off, and then I'm Mad Mike for the rest of my days.
Then you told us the story. You got like, didn't you show up naked or something?
Oh, I don't know if I've told this on here. Hey, Aaron, have I told a story about the fifth exchange at my old fake college fraternity? Okay, so, man, this is a fantastic
Aaron
story.
would remember that one.
Oh, yeah. Aaron, our lovely producer, he would remember all of it. Give it up for Aaron, everybody. If you're on the bus or anything, just start clapping for a double. So I was in a fake fraternity in college, which just means we were friends.
Yeah.
And we all hung
too.
out.
Yeah.
But we got T-shirts made. They said we were called KGZ, Kegs. Sure.
Yeah, our group, we were just the 412 because that was just the house we hung out at.
Oh, yeah.
412 Smith Street, Bloomington, Indiana.
Nice. Shout out to 420 Linden Ave, East Lansing, Michigan.
Damn, you guys got 420?
Yeah, dog.
Sick.
Yeah, dog. Did we have a Jolly Roger flag out front? You're goddamn right we did.
Jesus Christ.
Of course we did. Let me ask you another question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have empty liquor bottles with water in it and then the little strip from the highlighter to make it neon in there and a black light behind it?
We wanted to do that, but we never were advantageous enough to go get highlighters. So we just had like 30 empty bottles just atop the cabinets.
I was like, so like this dude, John Bizak, who may or may not listen, I have no idea. But he was like, I'm going to do this. It's going to look sick. This is awesome. And he did that in our living room. And the first time he had girls over, they were like, did you really do that? They just dunked on him so hard. It was the greatest.
We had a giant whiteboard, and I think someone got it because they were like, I'll use this to like write out my homework and like what I have to do for the week. But then it was taken just into the kitchen, and it was just a shot tally.
Oh shit! Okay.
So everybody like had their name, their section off in the on this giant board, and just if you did anything dumb during the week, you would get a shot marked and it'd like write what you did. So then like the weekend would come and it'd be like, yo, you got 6 shots you got to do. And you would just be like, you got to take 2 of them now.
Oh my God.
It was tight.
That's a good time. I don't think I could do that now, but I do still like drinking. I know you don't drink anymore.
2 years.
2 years. Congratulations. You look
Thanks,
fantastic.
Man. Stop it.
You look good. You just hit the microphone because you were telling me to keep going.
Yeah.
That's what you just heard.
I said, please keep regaling.
So I started comedy super young. I was 19 when this story happened. I already been doing comedy about a year.
Ooh.
And I got a gig. East Lansing, Michigan is in the middle of the state. And I got a gig in Garden City, Michigan, which is about, I want to say almost 100 miles away. It's not close.
Mm-hmm.
But I got it on the night of our annual Christmas party. And at that point in my career, I wasn't saying no to anything.
Of course.
So I was like, okay, it's 100 miles away and you're paying me $25. I cannot wait.
I came a running.
I will be there with bells on, my friend. Oh, it's a private party for a local electricians union in the back of a warehouse. Even better. I love everything you're saying to me. So I go, and our Christmas party was something called the Fifth Exchange, where it's like a Secret Santa, but it's fifths. You know those gift boxes where you get like a fifth and a little tumbler?
Yeah, it was very college. Yeah.
Very college. And the gimmick with the party was you had to finish the whole fifth that night.
Yeah, college dudes aren't for saving.
Not at all.
Not rationing.
Not at all. Not at all. They don't have they don't realize that it's not going to go bad.
My friends, we would be surprised if we woke up and there was anything left the next morning.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So I show up before the gig, and I'm like, oh, what do I get? Cool. I have, I think it was like whipped cream flavored vodka.
Ugh,
yeah,
Jesus
something terrible.
Christ.
So I'm like, fuck, whatever. I don't care. So I go, I do the gig, completely eat shit, come back. And so now that I'm back, the party's been going for about 2.5 hours. It looks like the beginning of Saving Private Ryan. Like there's just people sprawled out everywhere. A couple kids have yacked already. It's just nonsense.
Guy takes off a baseball cap and then immediately gets shot in the head.
There's one guy's holding his leg. It's bad. And so I see that, and in my 19-year-old college brain, I go, I need to catch up.
Obviously.
Yeah, of course. So I go, I'm drinking, and I think I polish off the whole bottle in about 2.5 hours, which is stupid. It's stupid. But, my parents aren't there, so whatever. And there's these girls that lived across the street from us who were like our friends. And so they were over, and we're all hanging out. And I'm pretty sloppy. And this one girl's like, I don't think you should sleep alone tonight. You seem pretty out of it. You want to come back. You just pass out on my bed. It'll be totally fine.
Nice.
So we get in there.
Snuggle session.
We get into the room, and I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, okay, I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick. She leaves. I take that opportunity to get completely naked. Just 100% naked. And I lay down on the bed, sheet underneath me, blankets underneath me, and I'm doing that pose that
Burt Reynolds
did in Playground. Just like, hey, what's up? How's it going? What's up? And I hear the door open, and it's not who I think it is. It is the boyfriend of her roommate. And so I'm just like presenting my cock and balls to like a guy who I ended up being on the lacrosse team. Just like this super hot dude, and I just go, whatever, and I just turn over and fall asleep. Yeah. So that's how I became Mad Mike, because I showed my dick to a guy on accident. So good times. Good times. Hey, before you get into the questions, you have this solo show you've been doing in New York.
Yeah, I've done it once.
You've done it once.
I'm trying to book a spot to do it. I'm trying to find a small theater to do it.
Yeah, a little black box situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've sent a pitch to a couple places.
Would you like to send the pitch to me right now?
Send the pitch?
Or do you want to talk about it?
Absolutely not.
Cool. What if you're like, I can't think of anything I want to talk about less than
No, it's just a show about just kind of like dealing with your feelings and like toxic masculinity. And because I grew up playing sports and just like in an old school Irish family where nobody talks about everything. So it was just about like growing up and pushing a lot of stuff down, but then how there was a number of things that happened in high school, like romantic things and then family stuff that made me a lot of stuff that I should have been dealing with in real time, but I kept pushing it down. But also because I wasn't focusing on that, I focused so much on all the other stuff in my life that was going well, like school and sports. And then it all just kind of came to a head. And it's a lot of storytelling and some bits in there.
Yeah. Well, that's great. And you're dealing with your feelings now.
Yeah, I'm still not doing stellar. I've still been single my whole life and never been able to open up to a romantic partner. But
yeah.
I'm.
What's like the thing that keeps you from doing that, do you think? Because it is fucking hard to do. It's really hard to do.
I mean, I think it's a lot of things where I'm sure it's a control thing where I like to control the narrative and the situation. And if someone knows those certain things about me, then in my mind, and I know this is wrong, but it's
the
like,
upper hand.
Yeah. But then it's also, it's that, but then probably equal parts, I just don't want to be a burden on anyone ever. And I never I just feel bad about unloading where I think I've always been pretty good about if someone just straight up asks me a question about like how I feel about a situation or something that happened, I'm good at giving it out then. But like I'm definitely not an open book. Like you got to open the book and the words are there. but book ain't going to be open.
What if your show, people actually go to it and then it's just this book metaphor the whole time? It's just 2 hours of being like, listen, you got to get the book. There's a bookmark. It ain't always where you want it to be.
And now you got Kindles, and that's a whole different thing. I'm a Kindle with no batteries.
Speaking of fires, it is one of those things where everyone kind of always knew that there was something underneath there with old green shirt Delehanty. And it's good that you're like, I feel very, this is going to sound weird. I feel very proud of you that you're kind of going out there and putting yourself out there in this way. And I think it's very admirable. And I would love if you did that here. I think you should do it here eventually.
I probably will.
I don't see how you couldn't,
Because the first...
You send 2 emails, you get one of these fucking theaters. You know?
I did it. So I did it at the Creek in the Cave in New York, which is like a cool space for comedy. And they allow a lot of different kinds of things. And yeah, I did it. And I did it very bare bones where I just wanted to see if it was a thing, like if it was a concise thought and it made sense.
It was a unit. That it was a piece and not just a bunch of fucking bits.
And not just kind of like stuff squabbly put together and like... And I didn't want to make it seem like self-indulgent. I wanted to make it seem like there was a point.
Yeah.
And I definitely got that out of it. So now I'm going to try and add some like multimedia stuff, like pictures.
Some tweaks.
I thought you said some tweets. I was like, what? But so then I want to do it either February or March and then maybe take it on the road.
Love it. That's great. These are all great things.
It's funny now that I'm starting to just like, talk about feelings more and like hearing that from you, that just realizing like, oh, wow, I wasn't tricking anyone.
Oh, no, not at all. It's like,
I've had multiple friends be like, yeah, you're just like the epitome of still waters run deep.
Oh, yeah. Like, you ever see that film, The Replacements? Obviously the greatest football movie of all time.
Yep.
And Gene Hackman says like, you see a duck. Duck looks fine underneath the water. There's like,
that's me.
His feet. That was always big green shirt. But yeah, that's great. These are all fantastic things. I like it. Do you think you'll ever find love?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm good. Thank you. We'll get some water. Yeah. Aaron also likes getting people water when they're asking questions.
Aaron's great.
He's great. He's fantastic. Another round of applause for Aaron, everybody. He's really ruining bus rides today.
No, I think I'll fall in love.
You think you'll fall in love?
Yeah. But then, I don't know. I used to stress out about it a ton.
Yeah.
But I think the past couple of years, I've just been more of in a space of like, I think it'll happen, but that's also not necessary for happiness.
Yeah.
I
started dating. I was always a guy who kind of ran 2 relationships.
Yeah, you bounced around.
Yeah, and the reason I moved to Minneapolis was because I found someone who was moving there. That was a scene I had done comedy in a lot, and I was dating someone who was moving there. And
her hair was very short.
She had very short hair. And instead of being like, okay, I'm going to stick it out and take my lumps in Chicago, I was like, I'll go up there and be the best. And then I got there and it didn't work out. And that's totally fine. But after that, I realized like, hey, you need to be your own person. And for about a year and a half, I didn't date anybody. I didn't want to. And I really just kind of found out who I was in a weird way. And then I met Mal, and then boy, oh boy, did she get her hooks in me immediately. And now I got a podcast about a fake wedding with her,
That's great, though.
Yeah, it is. It is. But that's what whenever anybody's single, any of my friends are single and I wouldn't tell an enemy this advice. Whenever any of my friends are single, I'm like, listen, you're going to want to just settle down with somebody, but don't. Like, just find out how to be alone in yourself and find out how to be happy that way. And then once you have that complete full life, then throw someone else in there and then see if you can make that work, you know?
Yeah, a partner shouldn't be a solution.
Not at all.
Which for a while I think I was projecting it that way.
Yeah.
And I think I was just trying to like figure out the math of it and just like, you know, like just avoiding my feelings and trying to just figure out something in a pragmatic sense. But you can't do that. You're dealing with people and emotions. And
you can't have the worst thing in the world I think you can do as a dude in a relationship is give someone 4 great months and then be like, oh yeah, I forgot. I'm insane. And just throw your shit on them.
Yeah.
And I don't think you should do that. I don't think anyone should do that.
Yeah. And I think that's been like any time I have had kind of, because I've been basically, I've had like on and off things, and I've dated a couple girls for like 3 months at a time here, then 3 months there.
You've gotten it in.
Yeah. I've fucked, or I've seen a lot of cool apartments. That's how I put it.
There you go.
But I think a lot of those never worked out because it would be people that I was very into, but I would just be like, I'll do anything for you. And I was there for them, but then I wasn't giving anything on my end.
Yeah.
And so that's why it never became anything more.
Yeah. Well, you know, you're out there, you got this solo show, you're swinging it loose, and you're hanging them high. We'll be right back
I'm
after
not doing
this.
any of those things.
I know you're not. But anyway, it is so great to have you here, and I'd like to, if it's okay with you, I'd like to ask you some of these questions, see if you might be ready to be one of the baloney boys. That's what I'm calling my gang of groomsmen.
B squared?
Also, baloney boys, I should mention, baloney boys, gender neutral term. Anyone can be a baloney boy. You're all welcome. We got some ladies coming up. Baloney boys.
Wow, you're walking a tightrope.
I really am. Anyway, Conor Delehanty.
Mike O'Keefe.
You mind I called you green shirt a couple times? That wasn't my nickname for you.
No, I love it.
There's still some girls' night fans out there.
There may be like 5 people who still call me green shirt, but
they're
really? Like some people exclusively call me that.
That's great.
But I love it.
Our buddy Tom Takar used to have a podcast called Girls Night, and they called Conor green shirt.
Well, they called me green shirt because Tom and I lived with our old friend Josh Murphy, and this is the whole reason for that nickname. Yeah. One morning I woke up and he was sitting in the living room drinking coffee, watching Good Morning America, and I was wearing a green shirt, and then he just goes, "Hey, old green shirt." And then the next day, I was wearing a different shirt, not a green shirt, and he just goes, "Hey, old green shirt, good to see you." And then I wore one green shirt once.
There's a comedian here named Max Friedman who I accidentally called Jimmy once. Never have not called him Jimmy. He's just Jimmy to me now. He's in my phone as Jimmy. He's Jimmy to me. Oh, anyway, Conor.
Yep.
Let's see if you got what it takes to be a baloney boy.
Let's hear.
Question number one. Plan my bachelor party, you tall, handsome bucket of fuck.
Okay, so all the baloney boys, we're going to a cabin.
Ooh, okay.
North Dakota.
Ugh. What?
Almost Canada.
Okay.
Beautiful cabin. Granite countertops.
That's a terrible part of the country.
Up.
I'm sorry.
Shut the fuck up. I'm planning this. You're like, oh, I'm going to be that bachelor who gets to pick my bachelor party. No, son. We're going to North Dakota.
Sorry, Dad.
We're getting on our way in. We're going to a local butcher shop. We're getting a lot of cuts. A lot of good meats. Okay? We're getting breakfast sausage. Nice little brekkie. Bunch of eggs, brown eggs. And then we're getting steaks. So we get in, steaks, red wine, bourbon, whatever you fellas want to drink. I don't drink, but, you know, I can get over my problem to watch you guys drink.
You have a problem watching people drink? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Shut up.
I apologize.
You will be allowed to talk in the North Dakota cabin. We all have a nice dinner. But then what happens? We get snowed in. Avalanche. Yeah. Because it's a new thing. It's like an immersive, real-life nature escape room.
Oh, no.
So as a unit, we spend a week getting ourselves out of the wilderness using survival tactics. We kill a bear. It's like a real-life revenant. And then we come back and we've forged a closer bond and we all love each other. And then you're so happy to get back to civilization that your love for it's Mal in this scenario, right? Yeah. Your love has grown even stronger, even though you didn't think it could. But through all this struggle, your love has grown stronger for her. So that's our bachelor party.
That's the worst answer you could have had. I'm not going to lie to you. Here's a couple things I got to tell you.
Yeah.
Number one, North Dakota is flatter than a fucking, it's so flat. Number two, that sounds terrifying. Also, we get drunk and then we got to escape the blizzard.
I'm not drunk.
Oh, man. That's almost as bad as going to Bozeman, Montana, Flanagan. Jesus Christ. Oof. Jim Flanagan said we'd go to Bozeman, Montana. I don't want to go there.
What, do you want to go to like Boca or something?
That sounds kind of nice.
Well, what's the next question, fucko?
Also, I walked out of the Revenant. I didn't like it.
I liked it.
Did you? Did you like it? Mm-hmm. I get weirded out by hearing people breathe.
So you're kind of like anti-ASMR?
No, there's some ASMR stuff I like, and we'll do a little ASMR in a minute. Don't you worry about that. But I just the heavy breathe, like the.
It was a lot of breathing.
It was a lot. It was a lot. There's times where I've gone and slept on the couch because Mallory falls asleep before me, and in my head I'm just like, I don't like how she's breathing. I just sleep on the couch.
This sounds kind of akin to the wear a suit when you don't have to work kind of thing.
Yeah, but she's not awake. She's asleep, you know?
That makes it even worse. You can't stand being near when she's asleep.
I want her to be awake. She's a great conversation.
Like if you and Mal
I love talking to her. She's not talking when she's asleep, you know?
Oh, God.
I turned it nice.
I'm not talking when I'm awake. That's why you like me.
And get steamroll that motherfucker. All right, the next question.
Next question that I will fail.
No, you're gonna do great. And that was a great answer. It's very ingenious. A lot of the answers we've gotten either involve me going out in nature, or me going to a wrestling show, and that was a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Because I don't see a way we're not wrestling. We've wrestled before.
We have in your parents' basement.
So high. We got wrestled in my parents' basement that one time with Eric Oren just in the corner. Like, I think they're gonna fuck. That was a good time.
What if let's take that bachelor party scenario I give you, but Braun Strowman is there.
I don't like him that much. He's not one of my guys.
Oh, so you're going to get these hands? Okay.
I don't want to get these hands.
No, you're going to get these hands.
These hands. They're fine. We'll make it quick, please. I like Braun Strowman. He's just, I don't watch a lot of WWE anymore. I like New Japan. I like independent wrestling.
Are they trying to buy up New Japan?
This is all off-air conversation, but no, they're not trying to do that. The next question. What are your DJ no-nos? And what are your DJ yes pleases?
DJ no-nos, cha-cha slide.
God, yeah. That's the most common answer, and I couldn't agree with it more.
Any kind of guided dance song. Mm-hmm. Get that shit out of here.
Yeah. Would you count Love Shack by the B-52s in there? Because there's like a little dance some people do that's in a formation.
Love Shack's you can have it in. It's not my top spot.
Yeah.
It's not gotta be, but if it's there,
yeah.
It's gotta be placed right. Within
Yeah. Yeah.
It can't be, it's gotta be song number like 13, maybe.
Okay. How do you feel about Rock Lobster?
No.
That's our first dance.
Get that shit out of here. Must Strokin' by Clarence Carter. You ever heard that song?
I don't believe I have.
You gotta
Strokin' by Clarence Carter.
Yeah.
Is it a fuck track?
Yeah.
Okay.
The chorus is, I stroke it to the east and I stroke it to the west.
Okay.
I stroke it to the woman that I love the best. You see, I'm stroking.
That seems like
It is the funniest song, bar none.
I love it. I'm trying to, oh man, I got to look up something real quick. There's a gentleman.
And also, Don't Want to Miss a Thing.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's from our youth too. God, I remember that was like one of the first songs I heard on the radio where I was like, I think it's okay to like slow songs.
It's a rock song, but it's got violin in it.
It's rocking, but it's... There's a gentleman who's since passed named Charles Bradley. And,
he's so good.
R.I.P. Boy, did I have a lot of intercourse to his music back in my day. Good Lord.
He does a version of Heart of Gold.
Oh, it's so good.
They played it at my brother's wedding, and I turned to my brother when it came on, and I was like, this DJ's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. I love it. Charles Bradley, God rest his soul.
His version of Changes.
Yeah.
Whew.
Oof.
You know his story, right?
Refresh my memory, because I think I do, but I don't know. He was like a cook in the Navy, or?
But I think for a while he was just like a James Brown impersonator.
I hadn't heard that, but that makes a lot of sense.
And,
are you confirming that, Aaron? Yeah.
And he was only like active recording his own songs and stuff for maybe the last
10 years.
Maybe 10 years of his life.
So good.
God, it's phenomenal.
Ooh. I would say I was... we've talked a lot about other girlfriends because I don't think you've met Mallory, and that doesn't matter. But
I feel like I know her.
Exactly. She has a very strong online presence, and we all invite you to follow her at Paula Poundstone.
I don't even think I follow her. I think it's just through your shit.
Sure. But I was getting down to business with a gal in my Minneapolis single days, which is a very short period. But I was doing okay up there. You
take it to Matt's bar?
No.
Juicy Lucy?
No.
Take it over to Uptown? Then you go down to Dinky Town? I'm just saying all the Minneapolis stuff I know.
Do you ever go to the Metrodome?
You ever go to Target Field?
Do you ever look at the Mississippi River together? But no. And
you ever kiss her on that bridge that collapsed a little while ago?
I did. And then that bridge fell down, then my pants fell down. Hey, how's it going?
Love it.
Yeah. But I was like, hey, can I? It was like our, 5th or 6th time.
Mm-hmm. Doinkin?
Double doinkin. And double doinkin.
Stupid fucking bears.
Stupid idiots. This is a podcast where we don't like professional football.
Coats.
Oh, congratulations.
Yep, thank you.
They're doing well. Andrew Luck's got a neck beard. I like the Jacksonville Jaguars now, I decided. I think that's a fun team. They got a fun color scheme. They're going to be bad a couple more years, but...
Absolutely.
I think they're only going to get worse. And I'm like, oh, do you mind if I put on some music? I put some music on, and I put on Charles Bradley, and she goes, this is baby making music. And I was like, all right, we're just going to have a hard reset, and we'll get back to this in about 10 minutes.
What? It was like too perfect? Is that what she was saying?
I think. I don't know.
What does she want? Like nature sounds or something? Give me a soft rain, maybe?
Let me put on some music. And it's whale sounds just like... I put on my playlist of NHL hockey goal horns. Just fucked up.
Remember that hockey documentary you sent me a screenshot of?
Oh, yeah. It's really good. They got another one on there, though.
It was called, like, The Last Gladiators?
Yeah, Last Gladiators. Man, that is my Netflix recommendation of the week.
But there's one time...
I love it. It's just a documentary about fucking hockey fights.
But Mike sent me this screenshot from that documentary, and it's just one of the hockey players they talk about. But he sent me this picture of a guy in like a hockey mask, and I've never played hockey in my life.
It looked just like...
And he sent it to me, and I was like, why did you do a Photoshop of me in hockey stuff? I was so confused.
You look just like him. It's so
but
silly.
I look so much like this guy.
It was insane.
It was wild.
Yeah, it was.
I think, what was this?
I'll never remember. There's no way you remember.
Knuckles or something? Was his?
Oh, maybe.
Chris Knuckles?
Yeah. It was Knuckles.
Nyland?
Oh, my God. Yeah, Knuckles Nyland. Yes. I think he played for Montreal. Hey, Aaron, do you mind doing a little? Okay, cool. We'll have an answer on that in a second. Yeah. God, I remember that. No, never mind. It was Knuckles from Sonic the Hedgehog. You look just like him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That too.
Your weird red dreadlocks.
But I don't think I've ever, like listened to it. I haven't listened to a ton of music while banging a gal.
Yeah. You should try it. It's nice. It's a nice mood setter. And
I'm mostly just happy to be there, so I'm not like, and I usually play away games, so I'm not like.
Yeah, you don't have you got a phone though.
Yeah, but I don't want to like be like, hey, I know this is your room. This is the tone I'm going to set.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I get that. That's very respectful of you.
Mm-hmm.
Conor Delehanty,
super respectful to women.
Respectful lover. Okay, so the next part we have at this wedding, you're gonna be the head of security.
Got it.
And I got a rambunctious family. They're a mob, a dirty, unwashed, filthy mob. They haven't showered in millennia, which is why I haven't showered in decades. So respect to them. We're gonna do a little role play. There's gonna be a situation. I'm gonna have you shut down someone who's gonna try and interrupt this beautiful ceremony. You're gonna have to shut them down, and we're gonna do that right now. Okay, here we go. Got you know your character, which is you.
We're in the ceremony. Church?
No, definitely not.
What, like barn? What do we?
Let's call it an event space.
Give me the elements. Oh, like
okay. So we're in, I'll tell you what, botanical garden. How's that sound?
Okay, outdoors.
Summer. I'll tell you what, fall. I sweat.
Oh, yeah.
Fall.
Summer weddings, get the fuck out of my face.
I really don't like them.
I'm going to be ruined with sweat.
Yeah, I'm going to have to buy a new suit. I don't like it.
It's disgusting.
Also.
But okay, so botanical gardens.
Yeah.
What part of the ceremony? Is it the speak now or forever?
I found out that I've been to like 30 weddings in 3 years. That's not a part of the ceremony anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It only like has to be maybe like 3 sentences.
Yeah.
To make it a wedding. So like, sure, everybody just cuts that part out.
I went to one wedding that was in Mexico. It was just looks. They were just giving looks at each other. The guy went, huh? And everyone went, huh? And then they were married. It was crazy. So
you have 2 mute friends?
I do.
I'm glad they found each other.
Me too. Yeah. And the pastor also mute. They all got
must have been a lot of waving the way they found each other.
Come here. As we do visual bits on a bucket.
They can imagine.
They can get it.
You got smart listeners.
They can hear. Listen, the dozens and dozens of multiple idiot fans. We actually had a nice bump. We had Marty on the show last week. That's a nice bump.
I will not be.
I know you won't. Let's hope they all stick around. Don't worry about it. Okay, so here we go. We're about 40% away through the wedding.
Got it?
Well, I said, what the hell are you doing? This is terrible. This shouldn't happen. I don't like, what are you doing to my flowers? I'm a groundskeeper and I don't want you guys picking flowers. You guys shouldn't be married. Ah.
See, the whole time that this has been going on, I was not surprised.
Why? What were you not surprised about?
Because I'd been watching him the whole ceremony.
Okay.
Because he was boiling.
Mm-hmm.
I could tell.
Yeah.
I saw lust in his eyes for Mal.
You saw lust in your eye, Hogan.
And I figured something like this would happen because I've met you, and I can only imagine what people with your DNA act like. And
apparently this was a groundskeeper.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
It's weird that you wouldn't invite your cousin to the wedding that he works at.
I'll be honest with you. A lot of my cousins would be lucky to be groundskeepers at a botanical garden.
Shut up. I came prepared.
Okay.
So while he's, blabbering on, causing a scene, everybody's looking at him and nobody is looking at me.
Of course they're not.
And what I had done was with the wedding, I brought the bear pelt from the bear we killed at the bachelor party.
Yeah. Yes.
And I put it on.
Full circle. Wait, that's not camouflage in this scenario.
And I put it on and I sneak up behind him and I go, only you can prevent forest fires, motherfucker. And then I beat him on the back of the head. And then you and Mal kiss, and everybody goes, Smokey, 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 Smokey.
Smokey. That was fantastic.
Yeah?
That was great. Before
How
we
about
move
that
on,
for damage control?
motherfucker. A way to keep. Listen, that's why you're going to have a great solo one-man show. It's because you know how to put a bow on that fucker.
Hell yeah, dude.
All right. So at this point in the show, I only have one question left. Before we get to that, we got an update on Knuckles Nyland. Christopher John Nyland.
1980 and 92.
1980 to 1992, won the cup with the Bruins. No, with L'Habitant in 1992. No, 86. 86 won the cup with the Montreal Canadiens. L'Habitant. That's the one word French I know. It really came out seamlessly, though.
Je peux pas français un petit peu.
Oh, wow. Look at you. What else you got?
That's it.
That's it.
All I could say was I could speak French a little bit.
Did you take French in high school?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I took
Take it into high school.
Take it in a high school.
See what play.
Yo soy took Spanish.
I am took Spanish.
So yeah, if you want to see what Conor looks like and you don't want to follow us on social media, look up Christopher John Knuckles Nyland.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that was a great time for fighting in hockey. Anyway, right now, before we get to the last thing on our docket, there's a couple segments we have to take care of. So right now, I'd like to welcome you to the ASMR Minute. The ASMR Minute is right now. We're going to do a little paper ripping. Do you have any ASMR things you'd like to do into the microphone right now, Conor?
Run away.
Say it in a soft, nice voice.
This kind of makes me a little bit uncomfortable, but I don't.
It's not sexual.
It's not sexual. I know it's not, and I don't want to disparage the people who enjoy this. I think that's fine, but I don't know. I just don't get it.
I don't either. But someone.
The same. I think it's the same way. I don't get Burning Man. It just doesn't make sense to me. But I'm glad that those people have an outlet.
Oh my God, 100%. I agree with that. The reason I did this is because someone told me that I have a good voice for ASMR very early on in the podcast. I don't get it. I don't understand why. But now I just have a little segment just for that, so people know that I know that there are people out there that get the neck tingles and they want to help them out. You know what I mean? So I do.
Is that ASMR?
That's the worst I've ever heard in my life.
That's for all my haters who said I never drank water. Hydrated as shit.
Hydrated. My pee's
drip.
My pee's been see-through since 1995. And then now, of course, I have to do my weekly Bane impression. So here I go, my weekly impression of Bane, the villain from Dark Knight Rises. Here we go. Hey, I'm Bane. What's up, everybody? How's it going? I'm Bane. All right, there we go. Weekly Bane impression. I do want to. You like Bane? You like that one?
You adopted the darkness.
There we go.
I was born into it.
I blew up a football game once.
I wondered what would break first, your spirit or your body.
You do the good one because sometimes he does go up, like really. Body.
There's like a weird like falsetto in there. Body.
All right, Conor, thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
This has been
for
lovely.
having me.
Lovely. And you're going to be, this will drop on Wednesday, this upcoming Wednesday.
Right.
But we got a couple more days together. You're going to be on the show on Monday. I'm excited.
Yeah.
We're going to have a good time.
It's going to be a real fun
Time.
week.
It's going to be fun. And I'm so excited you're here in Chicago. I'm so excited everyone gets this here. But before we get out, I can't let you leave. I can't give my ruling on whether or not you're in the baloney boys. I can't let you know whether you're a baloney boy until you do my best man speech. So right now I'm going to welcome in Greg, the Foley artist. Greg, if you want to come in here. Hey, Greg, every week, just shut up, man. I don't want to talk to you about this. Just do your job, and then we'll get out of here. and Conor will give his speech. So, Greg, if you do the honors. Yeah, sure. God damn it, Greg. All right, here we go.
Hey, everybody. First off, I just want to thank the O'Keefes and the O'Keefes for having me tonight. Mal's your cousin, right? I just think it's great that tonight we can bring one family even closer together and make it one bigger family. First off, Mallory, I just want to say you look so beautiful tonight. You're stunning. And you lit up the whole botanical gardens today. You made the flowers bloom once again. It's so amazing to me that someone so beautiful would marry a monster. I wore a bear pelt during the ceremony, and somehow I'm not even the smelliest one up here. Michael smells the way that pictures of the Holocaust look. Thank you. Good night.
What a great speech. I tell you what, my Jewish in-laws are going to love that last part.
That'll be fine.
That'll be good. But it's time for me to make my decision. Time for me to either open the door or slam it shut in your face and see whether or not you're going to be a baloney.
It's not an automatic in? I talked to you for an hour?
I know. I apologize. Listen, a lot of people would have maintained friendships with social interaction. Not me. Podcast, baby. So, Conor Delehanty, the green shirt himself, I have decided that you will not be allowed in the Baloney Boys. I'm scared of bears, dog. Bears scare the shit out of me.
That's me drowning.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry. Oh, man. I hope, listen, no one's been picked yet. But, that might change.
That does make me feel better.
No one's been picked yet. That might change. We don't know what's going to. We got some nice guests lined up. Next week, I have famous stand-up comedian Bob Hope coming into the show. That'll be a good one.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. It's a big get. Yeah. But this was a fantastic time. I'm so glad you're going to do this. Conor, this will drop on the 16th of January. What would you like to plug, if anything?
If you're in Indianapolis, I'll be at Black Circle Brewing on the 17th of January.
Ooh, fun.
And then that
Thursday,
weekend, I'll be
tomorrow.
the 18th and 19th, I'll be opening up for Tom Takar at the Comedy Attic in Bloomington, Indiana. He's running his half hour
buddy.
for Comedy Central.
And we congratulate Tom Takar on getting that.
What a guy.
What a guy. Another one, a dude we hung out with all the time back in the day.
So much talent, so much kindness.
So much talent. Man, just a funny all-over guy. A guy who's
funny all the time.
A guy who doesn't stop being funny. He when he snores when he's sleeping, it's funny.
Yeah.
He's a funny.
That's why I've lived
man.
with him for 6 years.
Yeah, it's a long time.
We're so close to common law married.
Yeah, 1 year.
But I think
that's when you get to start your podcast.
I think he's going to move in with his girlfriend, so I'm getting booted out.
Well, we congratulate Tom Takar and his girlfriend.
Antonia, she's great.
Antonia Takar.
Not yet.
No, I don't know.
Come on.
At Conor Delehanty on the stuff.
For everything.
Yep. That's how you got to do it. I'm at the Mike O'Keefe on all this stuff. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. You are the greatest, and let's go get you to that show, buddy.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me out. Love you, bud.
No problem. Love you too, man. Till death do us fart. See you later.